Um, I'll start it off just excited to be 1-0. Good team win. I mean, I thought the first half was really good. I think our defense set the tone, stopped the run, got after the quarterback. Shutting anybody out in a half's tough. Thought offense, first two drives, sputtered a little. We moved the ball, but didn't do anything. But then really, we had the big play to Jordan, and that kind of opened things up. And then Corey's interception, and we just played solid the rest of the half. Scoring the touchdown before half was good. It was a good half of team football. Not pleased with just kind of the way we, finished the game. I mean, they made a good play to start the second half on that third down touchdown. Heck of a throw, heck of a catch. We missed the play there, and they scored. And then I'd like Preston and Curley to be able to hit that one. I think it was the next drive that we ended up not getting anything out of, and missed some chances on offense, missed some field goals, missed some short yardage. Getting stopped on 4th and inches is never good. But hey, we finished. We found a way to win, and we can, I think, be a lot better too.
What did you see from Alex Kilgore? He got the start in there and early on made an impact.
Yeah, I think was it the first, second, third play somewhere in there. You got a sack. Yeah, Alex is a special freshman. I mean, we think he's going to have a great career here, and he can run. He's very instinctive. He just knows how to play the game, and I think I think he shot a gap there and made the play. And we think he's going to have not only a big year but a big career.
3 of your 6 sacks today were by linebackers. Last year you only had 6 all year by linebackers. Was there a scheme change to try to free them up?
I just learned that a minute ago on our radio show. I didn't know we only had 6 sacks by linebackers a year ago, or 3 today. But apparently, Coach Simons and Coach Crum knew that, and I guess we had a plan to. No, I mean we do a good job even when we're not blitzing our backers. It's called green dog, and they add on when they know the back's in protection, and I think they did a nice job of making those plays. And our D line did a good job of pushing the pocket on them.
But how do you think your players handled the news from yesterday? All that.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, that's a concern. I mean, look, yesterday was a real positive distraction, but still, it was something that was dominating the news cycle and dominating the things here on our campus and in our city. And, I thought they did a really nice job of focusing on and being present. I mean, we know what that means for the future, but the present was today and this season. And I thought you can tell the way we came out and played in the first half, they did a nice job of not letting that kind of get in the way.
What changed after the first 2 series? It seemed like everything started clicking. Receivers and Preston were really on the
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some of it. I mean, look, Louisiana Tech's good defense. They gave up less than 200 yards last week, and we on the first drive we had a bust on second down where they got the negative play on Roderick Daniels. That was on us, and so that put us behind the sticks. And then we had the false start, so now it's third and whatever. I think that was our first drive, and you're not going to convert that very often. So we kind of stopped ourselves a little bit there. The second drive, I think we got a first down or two, and I can't remember what happened, but it was a little bit of a feeling out. If you're being honest, it's first game. They played us differently than they played FIU. I mean, they didn't change their defense; they just had different wrinkles. So some of that was settling in, figuring out what they were doing. And obviously, just first game jitters sometimes are there. And we weren't going 3 and out and going backwards, but we weren't scoring. But defense did a great job of holding it, and then we were able to hit Jordan on the big play, and that kind of, I think, got things going offensively.
One question on yesterday's news, playing into today. We kind of talked all late season leading up to this about the leadership on the team. Jonathan, some of these other guys. I guess how much you have to trust player leadership to be like, hey, make sure everyone's focused, ready to go, and
Yeah. I didn't over address it with him. I mean, I told him about it Friday morning, when at about 8:30 when the news had happened, and then I said, "Hey, but we've got to. That's great. That's the future, but like the president in 24 hours, we're playing a game." And I think I might have said something one more time after our practice that morning, and I felt like our guys were ready to play. They were excited to play. They were ready to go play somebody. I think they showed that in the first half, and so hopefully we can just, again, Louisiana Tech. I think Sonny does a good job. I mean, they're going to have a good football team in their league. Just wish we would have kind of pushed through and played better in that third quarter than we did, but that's something we can try to grow with.
Talked all offseason about what you thought this defense thought it could be. How nice was it to see a lot of that out there today?
It was real nice. I mean, you call and manage the game as the head coach differently when you feel like your defense can stop people. I know we went for it on fourth down a lot still, but I never felt like we were like doing it out of like desperation, or it was just like, hey, we should go for it here and we should get it here, and I just, and I thought Ryan Buchevsky was great. I mean, he punted the ball awesome from that first punt that knocked him down there inside the 10, I think it was. Our coverage unit did a good job. I mean, he was awesome, but it changes things. Now, shoot, it may have made me call it too conservative at times. I really thought as the game went on, we popped a run or two here or there, but they did a nice job. Their safeties were getting downhill, and I thought Preston did a really good job, especially in the first half, of giving guys chances one-on-one. We probably could have done it more. And we made the plays. Second half, he still gave him chances. We just didn't quite make the plays at the level we need to. But if you can run the ball effectively, people are going to do that, and we just got to be able to continue hitting those and go back and look at the film and see what we could have done better. Yeah, I mean, those guys came here for a reason. We brought them here for a reason. I think the challenge is, and I do believe I don't know the extended stats, but I think we played a lot of guys. That was our intent on offense and defense, is to roll the D line and to roll the DBs and to roll the linebackers. And so I think we did that. I know on offense, I couldn't have told you half the time I was calling plays what receivers were in. And a year ago, I knew exactly who was in. Running back, same thing. I mean, I think there was 14 carries for LJ, 17 for Rooster. Levine had a few. I mean, everybody touched the ball, and that's the way it needs to be. And a lot of those guys are transfers, but man, they're a team. It doesn't matter if they've been here 4 years or 4 months or 8 months. Just happy they're all here, and I'm proud of them.
Preston showed a lot of confidence, a lot of nice high point catches.
Yeah.
Is that something you've been seeing in practice, fall camp?
It is. It's something we've seen him. I think the last 2.5 weeks, he's really peaked in camp. I thought spring he was up and down. I thought he had a great summer. I thought the first week or two of fall camp he was fine. He was better than the spring, and then I just think he just slowly got better and better and better. And you could tell a week and a half ago he was locked in, playing well, going to do a nice job. And I mean, it's not like he wasn't aggressive today. He was throwing it down the field, but there's very few times the ball was in jeopardy that he was going to turn it over. He took hits and got right back up. He scrambled a few times when he needed to. I thought he just played really steady, solid, maybe boring football, but boring with 3 touchdowns is pretty good. But to your original question, the hardest thing to do as a quarterback is to not try to make the perfect throw all the time, especially on those deep balls. You see a guy and you try to make it perfect. Well, when you do, that's where you see those overthrows by a step or two. Learning where the DB is in relation to the wideout and where to give our guy a chance with some air. So it doesn't have to be a perfect pass, but you see Keyshawn Smith go up and make a play. You see Moochie make plays. You see Jordan Hudson make plays. You see R.J. Maryland make plays because he's given them chances. Throw it over the head, nobody can catch it. So he's really, I think, started trusting those guys with that.
Kind of sounds like you're trying to impress.
Yeah.
I guess did you expect that to be on point game 1?
I'm not surprised by it, because he did play last year. I've been around him, and in the last week and a half is why I'm probably not as surprised. I didn't come into this game wondering where his head was and how he was doing. He's been steady for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. But you never know, and who knows if something bad would have happened early. I don't know, but he just was calm the whole game, and Preston being Preston, which I think if he does that, I think he's going to get better and better each week, and he can really keep plays alive and scramble and move. He didn't do that a lot today, but I have a feeling he'll do that down the road.
A lot of positive things.
Well, we're going to celebrate the heck out of this win tonight because it's just really hard to win. And so we had a fun locker room in there, a celebrated locker room. Really, really proud to be 1-0. It's been a great weekend for SMU. Yesterday was a great day. Today was a great day. But yeah, tomorrow we turn our attention going to Norman, and we know what kind of challenge that's going to be. I don't even know what happened in their game, but they played the same time we did. But going into an incredibly hostile environment, I know Brent Venables. I've gone against him before. He's as good as there is in the country at defensive football. And then Jeff Levy and what they do on offense, that quarterback that was at UCF, he's a stud. So we're going to have to play a whole lot better and for all 4 quarters. But our guys will be excited for the challenge.
How big was the LJ's run to start that final drive in the first half? Because I feel like with 30 seconds, he only gets a couple yards. That's probably
Yeah. No, you're accurate. I mean, depending on where we got the ball dictated the call. Wish that ball would have gone in the end zone, but I think we're in the 7 maybe. I'm not totally sure. And maybe the 10. And said, hey, we knew they would drop back in coverage. So we if we'd been a little further up, we'd have probably thrown something else. But we just handed it off and felt like it would have a chance to hit. And it's kind of as if it gets the first down, we're going to roll and try to go get a field goal. And if it doesn't, playing great defense, 24-0, we'll go in a half. And when he hit it, not only that, then he broke, split the safeties, and we already given him a hard time for getting caught. But got us down there like the 20, 30, somewhere in there. Then it was, all right, let's take a few shots at the end zone. And fortunately, RJ went up and made a great play. So I think that was big. I mean, that killed their momentum going in a half. I don't know if I know it was 24-0, but like going in a half, that's huge for us. It's really deflating for them. Unfortunately, it probably deflated how we started the second half a little bit.
LJ and Rooster had 192 yards and only 2 negative yards.
Yeah.
How much of that was just the fact that you added a couple of very talented transfers, and how much was the rebuilt offensive line?
I think both. I think those guys ran the ball really well. I think you saw at times Rooster's explosion. There's a couple he'd probably like to have back. I think you saw what LJ can do. I mean, he goes forward, man, and he's not slow. I mean, you saw on that run. I mean, that was he hit it, and then the line's done a great job. And Garen does a great job with those guys. And so I think him and Coach Hall in the run game were better. The way they were taking their ends and really squeezing everything off, they were just kind of wadding everything up. They did a nice job. We weren't as good on the perimeter as I wish we could have been. Early in the game, we were trying to get it outside, and our stretch play wasn't as good. I'll have to look and see what they were doing and what we weren't doing. But, we hit some powers, some counters, some zone spit on us, and we were just methodical throughout the game. It looks like we ran it, 41 times. Most of the time, if you run it 40 or more times and you're not the Naval Academy, that means you won. Just because, you're probably in the game, you're able to be balanced, you're able to dictate to what's going on. And if those guys have 30-plus touches a game, that's usually probably going to be a good sign for us.
Get a different feel of the atmosphere. I know there's nobody in the end zone, but just it being closed in and then moving the student section.
I did. I mean, you see the student section when the game started, all 4 sections behind the visitors bench. It changes the feel. You can hear them chanting. Like, that's the atmosphere you want. Now, when you get up 31-0, they're excited about the Boulevard. So, I don't know what I would have thought in college. Who knows? And it's hot, but that first half was great. I mean, that's what we want. That's the atmosphere. I think you get a feel for how the stadium being closed in is going to be. I mean, we had a whiteout, and I get it. I got a lot of questions. Like, okay, our marketing team does a great job. The whiteout's for the fans, and I know we wore blue jerseys, but there's reasons for that. I mean, now sometimes you got to rely on the other team to let you switch jerseys. I'm not saying they didn't do that, but the other is if you're look at Penn State, they started whiteouts. They wear blue for their whiteouts, and the reason is you got everybody in the stands in white and the other team in white. Now your guys stand out to your QB better, right? There's a contrast there. Well, if you got everybody in the stands white and your dudes are running around in white, that's actually harder for you than the other QB. So, like, there's some stuff to it. So if anybody wants to be wondering why we wore blue jerseys, they can ask me. But the whole student section in white, they were loud. It was great, and I think that's what you're gonna see down the road here for a home environment.
Concerned with not finishing those drives in the second quarter or in the second half, or is it more just some of those first game things that lead and all of that?
I don't know. The concern would be when I go back and look at why, right? So after I see why, then I'll know how concerned it should be. And I'll be honest, I was really boring and stubborn today. Game 1, we did it last year against North Texas too. Like, you can be too crazy and too complicated. You get all this time, and it's like, man, game 1, new starting quarterback, but not that he's not experienced, but just all the new guys. Like, we got new guys all over the place on offense, and if you try to do too much, that's where sometimes you don't execute very well. We didn't bust a lot. I know I mentioned the one on the first drive. That's like the only one in my head I can really think about. So we knew what to do. We played fast. Maybe we got to execute better, or maybe I got to give them better play calls. It may be a combination of both. We'll go back and see. I mean, you never want to not pick up 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, those kind of things. So that, I don't know about concerning, but it's got to get fixed.